How much are our bills in the Philippines? How much are utilities in the Philippines? How much is rent in the Philippines? Well, that's what we're going to talk about during this video. Just an informal chat about how much our bills are here in the Philippines. And nothing can be used as a concrete guide to say how much are my bills going to be. It's like saying how much does it cost to live in California? How much does it cost to live in Alaska? Everything is so subjective. I've said this a million times, but if you look at what people are searching for, they're searching for how much does it cost to live in the Philippines, how much is rent in the Philippines, all these questions, right, doing research, especially for people who have never been here before. So all I can do is give you our numbers and tell you a little bit about our lifestyle and the way we live and how big our place is. And so you can judge maybe how much your utility is going to be. It obviously varies by each person, how much you're going to use, how long you need to run the aircon, how many people you have. Do you have kids? Because obviously if you have kids, they always leave the doors open and run your electric bill up because of the air conditioner. Filipinos, always leave the door open, run your electric bill up. Okay? I can't blame them. Fatima's place that she grew up in for, 19 years of her life before we met, I don't even know if they have a door. They don't have no air conditioning. It's a bamboo shack. So little things about, hey, close the door, the air conditioner's on. Never heard that before in her life until she started hanging out with the foreign guy. So all those little factors you don't think about, but directly affect your water bill, your electric bill. I already did a video about our electric bill last month. It came in at 10643.74 US dollars. That came out to be around, what is that, $190.40. That's crazy, but you have to understand, I have two small children. We have two window units. This is just say a small 2-bedroom home. Now it's a concrete building, concrete block, it's brand new. But factor in two children, 2 to 3 Filipinos being here all the time, running in and out, outside, doing laundry, doing the cooking, what have you. The aircon is going to run more than if it's just you, the bachelor, who chills out at home all day and only goes out, to get something to eat or goes out at night. Again, all I can do is tell you what our bills are. Okay? So $190 on the electric bill. If I were living alone, it would be less than half of that. Let's see, go to the water bill, 655 pesos. Comes out to be about $11.72 US. Now that water bill doesn't include like any more amenities, like maybe in the States your water bill or your trash or stuff like that is incorporated in the same bill. It's basically just the water bill, right? So not too much there, $11.72. But again, 2 babies, 3 Filipinos, and myself. So I got a crew. Internet. Now, there's fiber optic all over, I don't want to say all over the Philippines, but here we are up in the northern tip of Cebu Province. There's fiber optic internet here. And the Philippines is pretty good about it. Just constantly putting in fiber optic in more and more places. So the internet here is on time. Our internet speed, I think, is 1 gig. That's up and down. It's blazing fast. It comes in at 3,500 pesos a month, but by the time you add the taxes here, and I don't think I had these taxes when I was in Angeles or Subic, but for some reason here with my taxes, it comes almost to 4K a month. 4,000 pesos, that's around $71.55. Okay, you as the average bachelor, do you need that big of an internet package? Absolutely not. If you're the average retiree, all you do is a little bit of banking, emailing, and watch Netflix or YouTube. You just need a fraction of that package. But what do? We upload YouTube videos. The faster, it means it equates to time, saving me time. So we have a 1 gig package up and down. It's reliable. If you're gonna get internet, I recommend Converge. Knock on wood, it's never let me down for years. So shy of $72 on the internet. I say a normal package, shoot, what is it, 1.5? Say around $30, something like that. Okay, what else? Utilities, gas. Now look, there's no central gas lines. You have to get the tanks like you have on your backyard grill in America. So here we get the similar sized tanks. They're 11 kilograms. And to refill those tanks, it's, it varies with the gas price. I think we paid $12.50, somewhere in there. But those tanks will last us between 2 and 3 months. So I sort of rounded it. I just said, okay, for 2 months, 1 tank will do us. So about 600 pesos a month on our gas bill, so to speak, on those tanks. And that comes out to be $10.73. Now, electricity here in the Philippines is very expensive. It's more expensive than Thailand. Some of these areas will tax so many fees on there in addition to what you're using. It's expensive. So you definitely you want to cook with gas if at all possible. Running an electric stove, electric oven, it's just going to eat you up. Okay? So if you're going to cook, recommend gas. We're cooking all the time because of the kids. And it still only comes out to about 600 pesos per month on the gas. No complaints there, right? Let's see, how much do we pay for rent? Right here at the place we're in now, which we love it. It's a brand new little house, 2 bedroom, one's bigger than the other. Got a nice carport. It's small for Western standards. It's got 1 bathroom, 1 CR, comfort rooms, what they call it here. It's perfect for us. And if you're a bachelor, you don't even need this much space. But out here in the small town, we pay 9,000 pesos a month for this place, which comes out to be $160 and what's that, 90? Can't even read my own writing. $160.99. It's around $160 a month for my rent, which is crazy because my electric bill is more money. Electric bill's what, $190, rent's $160. But damn, electric bill's like 30 something bucks and some change more than our rent. Now we had another little house right here in the same little place before. It was $6K a month. You can find places outside of the major cities around that price range, okay, that are actually very nice places. We love this place. I'm glad to have it. I'm glad to pay $9K a month, no problem. But you realize if you're going to live in Angeles City, you want to be in close proximity to this, to that. It's all relative, right? It's all about location. You want to be close to the mall in a big city, well, chances are the rent's going to be higher, the place is going to be smaller. Okay? How much would I factor? Well, I would say anywhere from 10 to 20K on rent. I just do 15 in your mind. Okay? Now look, if you're out in the province, it's obviously going to be a lot cheaper. But if you're trying to get next to a mall in Makati, it's going to be more. It's all subjective how you want to live and how much space you need. That's obvious. I'm being Captain Obvious. But a bachelor, you don't need that much room. I mean, if it's just you and your girlfriend or you and girlfriends coming and going, what do you really need? You don't need a McMansion like you're living in America. You need basically the equivalent of a hotel room or a hotel room with a little bedroom off of it, a little 1-bedroom condo. That's really all you need. But I can't make those decisions for you. Again, all I can do is tell you what our numbers are. Okay, so I left one thing out: garbage. Now, garbage is maybe something you don't think about. It's just like, oh, hey, you ask the landlord, like, yeah, where do we put the garbage, right? But we've lived some places where the garbage service was not adequate. In other words, they came once a week, or they were supposed to come twice a week. They would only come once. We've lived in places where it was an issue. We lived in a $28 beach condo. It's every man for himself. There's no garbage service. What do the locals do with their garbage? Well, I hate to say it, but in a lot of places, it just goes and gets dumped somewhere at an illegal dump site out in the jungle. Not everybody, but some people do. If they have to pay for garbage disposal, a lot of it is going that route. So garbage is something that I'm always big on. Why? Because especially having two children that are less than a year apart, that have been in diapers. They're not now, but they were in diapers, obviously. And if you got two babies in diapers, garbage is a big thing that you're going to think about. So, like, the coolest place as far as garbage, we lived in this condo in Angeles City, and they have a garbage chute. Live in this condo building, you just basically walk out your door, there's a drawer, boom, drop the trash bag in the drawer, it goes downstairs, that's it. You can get rid of your garbage anytime you want with no heavy lifting involved. I love that about that place. That was one of my favorite things. Why? I had two babies that were in diapers. My gosh, we generated so much trash, like anybody that has small children, right? We still do. Do a lot of cooking. So garbage is a big thing. If you're going to rent a place, especially some place on the cheap, way out in the province, ask the question, what about the garbage? And see what they say. Some places you move in, the garbage guy will come around and say, hey, it's 150 pesos a week or 200 pesos a month, 250 pesos a month. It's very cheap. I'm not saying that it's expensive. But unless you're in a condo building that has something like that, or the neighborhood or the barangay, whatever comes around, you got to factor in a little bit of money to get rid of the garbage. How much do we pay? Well, here's the situation. Okay, our garbage guy, I think, runs on Saturdays. I don't really know. Because they run and it has to be separated. And there's been times where the lady separated it and the coolie wanted to, I don't want to say argue, but he's basically telling him it's not separated right, he wouldn't take it. And I'm like, that's absolutely not acceptable. We got 3 cans out there. The ladies do a good job of separating it. And I just got pissed off and I said, you know what? Forget that. We're not dealing with that. Okay? Just pay somebody to pick up the trash whenever I want them to pick up the trash. I don't want trash around here, and I don't mind spending a few extra bucks to get it out of here. So anytime the guy comes in and empties the trash cans, is 150 pesos, like less than $3. Could I get away with him doing it once a week? Probably not. It'd probably have to be like every 4 or 5 days. But I don't play around, just because I don't want trash stinking up the place. It's the tropics. Even if you put it in cans, whatever, it's going to stink pretty quick, especially the food waste, right? So I'm gonna have this dude take the trash out every other day, every 3 days. If we've done a lot of cooking or whatever, maybe 2 days back to back. I don't mess around with the trash. But if you're on a tight budget, we've had guys, I don't know, say 250 pesos a month. They come once a week, what have you. So you factor in a few more bucks on the trash. So I forgot about that point. But it's a question you need to ask, especially if you're on a very, very tight budget. Okay, where am I going to put my trash? So far, it comes to $466.86. 26,098 pesos, right? Now, there's one thing I didn't factor in, which I didn't put groceries and food. All that's very subjective. But one thing you have to have is water. It's filtered water. Okay, you can't drink the tap water here, so you've got to get big jugs of water. No problem. The kid shows up on the trike, beeps the horn. He'll take the empties, bring back the full. They're usually, I think, 20 pesos a jug, 25 pesos a jug, somewhere in there. So I'm not even sure exactly how many jugs a month we use. But if you just want to round it out, we're at 466 without the water. Let's just say $500. Big round, nice round number, $500. So 500 US dollars a month is all of our, what I call hard bills that you have to have, aside from food and everything else that goes down in life. But $500 a month to be able to live like we live in the house that we live and power it, So there you go. We don't have a cable bill. We don't have a phone bill or anything like that. Do I have a home phone? Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. See if you can hear that. Okay. That's a Magic Jack line right there. I didn't factor that in. If you want to factor in the Magic Jack line, it's like, what, $40 a year? And I have a US phone number that rings here or anywhere I'm at in the world, for that matter, if you're not up on technology. But the Magic Jack for me is worth it because it's just more reliable than any other of these apps and stuff that you're going to run on your phone or iPad or what have you. And you can run Magic Jack on an app, but the 100% reliable solution is the box plugged into the router. And now I'm old school. You know what I mean? People got a problem, just freaking call me and answer the telephone. And I know if it rings, it's important because not everybody in the world has my phone number. So there, I think $500 is a good assessment for how much our monthly bills are. So then the question is, can I live on, $1,000 if I'm a bachelor? Let's go back to the 1, 2, 3 rule that I've always said. Now it's very subjective. How much do you need to live? Well, if you're a bachelor, you need $1,000 a month. If you don't smoke, you don't drink, and you don't chase the ladies. If you are going to drink and smoke, you need $2,000 a month. If you're going to drink, smoke, and chase ladies up and down Walking Street or Mango Square or wherever, Barrio Barreto, you need $3,000 a month. It's my 1, 2, 3 rule. It's like, what kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Even though that's so subjective, people argue, oh, you don't need $1,000 a month to live. I live cheaper than that. But I don't think what people factor in, well, I know they don't factor it in. And actually, I'm just talking about hard bills in this video. They don't factor out over time, like immigration fees, which you have to pay. That is truly a hard bill. It should be on my list because as a non-citizen of this country, I'm going to have immigration fees, from paying the government to bus rides to get there. If you have to spend the night on some paperwork, a hotel, there is money that you're going to have to spend on your visa, and if you don't factor that in, you're just kidding yourself. It's a hard bill, okay? It's very subjective depending on what visa you have, right? So those are other things that you have to think about and factor in. And then also the $1,000, people don't factor in emergency trips back to their home country. So when I was living in the $28 beach condo, literally it was $28 at the time. It was 1,500 pesos. So our bills there were $28 on the rent, like $7 on the electric, $3 on the water. So it was very cheap, and people saw that and said, "Why do you say you still have to have $1,000 a month?" Well, it's because of everything else I just discussed. Over time, that's what you need at least, because most of you are going to have an emergency trip back to the States, or you have to renew something, or you have to make a trip to the embassy, which is flights, hotels. It all adds up. So don't think that if you're planning to retire, that $500 per month is all I need to survive. You gotta eat. Okay? You gotta pay immigration. There are things that pop up. There's travel. So it goes a lot deeper and a lot further. And all you can do is watch videos like mine, watch my shows, see what we do, how we, where we spend the money. Now we're a poor example. Why? Because this is a show. We spend money on a lot of things that I wouldn't spend money on unless, hey, we're producing a travel show, award winning. All right. But if it were just me, the bachelor, man, I can survive on very, very little, a very little food budget for a long time if I had to. But you can't do that with Filipinas and kids. Kids, obviously, they shouldn't have to sacrifice, and Filipinas ain't gonna sacrifice. So we spend a lot more money on food and stuff like that than you're going to, probably. So there you go. Hope you learned something out of this talk. And again, all you can do is just sample folks' videos and channels like ours. How much do they pay? What kind of house are they living in? How many people are living there? But you're really not going to know what your monthly budget is until you get boots on the ground. You live in a place for 2 or 3 months and look at the numbers. Okay, but what most people do, even in a lot of businesses, if you budget, say $100,000 on this construction project, you should probably double it, because that's in the end, over time, what it's going to cost to get the job done, right? There you go, folks. That's my 2 cents. I hope the audio is okay. This little room, it's just a small concrete block room. I know there's an echo in here, but I think there's less of an echo because I put that little mattress up there to sort of dampen out some of the sounds. I got some cardboard over here, old TV box, a couple big light boxes, so hopefully it's not as echoey in here. But doing talking head videos most of the time in my world is a challenge, because I have loud Filipinas, the children are noisy, and if I go outside I have dogs, roosters, dogs barking, birds chirping, tricycles. And I know some of y'all complained on the last video where I was talking about my son and having seizures and stuff like that. Yeah, the audio was terrible because of the damn dogs and the roosters. But hey, this is the Philippines. It's a loud country. If you're not able to deal with the noisiness, you might want to pick somewhere else. Hey, thanks for watching my show, listening to my voice. Thanks to you, the viewer, all y'all out there on the other end of this camera, through the camera lens, through the computer, through the fiber optic line, boom, coming to you live in your living room. Thanks to you clicking on our show, I get to live this lifestyle, spend all the time with my children, and I certainly appreciate you. Matter of fact, we're planning a trip to go to the beach tomorrow. The kids are off on Friday. And so we said, hey, instead of having family day in the village, let's try to get everybody to come over to the beach. And it'll be family day at the beach. So certainly appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one, my friends. Peace out.